video, we will be discussing the importance of using keywords while searching in the database. So let's start by establishing what a database is. It's a collection of electronic information, very similar to how you would search something like Google, let's say, and it allows users to search for a particular topic, book, article. It has all sorts of information. And it lets you identify the full text of that article if it's coming from a journal. Let's say you're required to use a scholarly journal, newspapers, magazine articles, books. It has all sorts of information that you're going to navigate electronically. However, unlike Google, the library databases are designed to be searched in a different way. It doesn't let you ask questions, for instance. Instead, you have to use what we call keywords. Now, what are keywords? Keywords are the main concept or idea of what you're searching for. So when you prepare to search in a database, it is always helpful to take a few minutes to sit down and think about the topic that you're searching for and write down a few words to describe the idea. So again, we're not asking those full sentences. Instead, we're stopping and asking ourselves, what are the main concepts I want to focus on? And pulling those words or ideas out and using those for search terms. Now, the database can be a little unfriendly. If you spell something incorrectly, it won't work. If you say, let's say you use the word television, it's not also going to look for TV. So when you prepare to search in the database, think of synonyms and antonyms to describe what you're looking for. Now, what would this look like? Let's say we have an example here. I'm looking for advice for college students so they do well in college. When I prepare to search in the database, again, I want to keep in mind, I can't ask it a question. And we also can't include extra filler words. So that includes an, a, in, the, into. Anything that starts to make your search a sentence or a question is not going to work. So instead, we want to focus on those main ideas. Let's take a moment and see what that looks like. So in this example here, I still have that overall topic, advice for college students so they do well in school. Well, the database isn't going to know what I mean exactly by advice. And what do you mean by doing well in school? It doesn't interpret what you mean like Google does. Instead, you have to tell the database exactly what you mean. So in this instance, when I'm trying to come up with keywords, I've identified that college students are a main topic or a main idea of what I'm looking for. So how many different ways can I describe college student? When I say advice for student, advice about what? Do I want to focus on note-taking, time management? What do I mean by doing well? That you have a good work-life balance, that you're organized. And when I'm looking at students, am I thinking about career, occupation, doing well to what end goal? So here are some examples of how you could come up with various keywords related to our topic. Now, to actually search in the database, I have to take these and start to make a search string. So here are a couple of examples of what that might look like. Now, you don't want to overwhelm the database with too many search terms. So let's focus in on what we're interested in given any topic from above. I'm not going to search for all of that because it would be too overwhelming for the database. But let's say I'm interested in time management in college and how freshmen can go in and be prepared to take good notes so that they do well in college. So here you can see I'm defining what that means. Or let's say I'm an adult student, I'm coming back to school, and I'm curious if there are scholarships or tips on how to get scholarships so that I do well, that I can fund that school and not worry about paying for it. So you can see here we have 3 different perspectives of what that might look like. And now I'm going to take those search terms. I recommend when you prepare to work in the database that you take a moment, look at your topic, write down all those search terms ahead of time so that you're prepared to search in the database. Now at this moment, let's transition to actually where do you get to the databases? For SFCC, we have a website that's called A to Z Databases where all our databases are collected in one spot. And you can see that I've provided the link at the top here for you. So let's click on this and actually go to that list of databases. From here you can see I'm on the database page. We have a lot of databases. All of these are library databases. And unlike Google that just kind of has a database of everything, each database has a specific selection of information. So when I prepare to use the database, I want to look at each one of these and read the description and see what is most helpful for my topic that I'm searching at the moment. Be aware that when you need to sign into the database, it is going to ask you for your Bigfoot student email, which is listed at the top here, and your password is your student ID number. If you have any issues, feel free to call the library or the IT help desk. Now, if I scroll down, I know that my topic is advice for college students doing well in school. I'm going to start with the most popular databases here and read the description of each. I would recommend for this topic that Academic Search Complete, Associates Programs Plus, or ProQuest would be really good starting places. And this is the screen that's going to ask me to log in. From here, we can see that our search screen looks very different than Google. In this instance, this is where we're going to put those search terms that we've already brainstormed. I recommend doing no more than one term per box. So in this instance, let's use my first example. So I'm interested in freshmen in college. And I'm curious about good time management. So instead of typing in that full question, you can see here that I have narrowed it down just to those main concepts. Always make sure the full text button is clicked, or you're going to get articles that you might not be able to read in full. From here, you can see I have quite a few options, over 9,000. If I want to narrow this down a little bit, I can use the filters on the side. So let's say I'm only interested in articles within the last 10 years. I can go ahead and click this link here and it will update my results. So you can see that I've gone down to about 5,500. It will also let you specify where that information is coming from. So if I was required to use a scholarly article for class, I could go ahead and click here and it'll only show me peer-reviewed. However, in this instance, it's not required, let's say, and I am just looking for topical, interesting information. In this instance, I could say I think that newspapers and magazines and maybe trade journals would be the most helpful, because I could see there being a magazine articles written for students, giving them some helpful tips, which is kind of more in line with what I'm looking for. So from here, you can see that I actually have a really relevant article right here. College students offer advice to freshmen. Time management is crucial to a balanced life. Now, I didn't even use the word advice in this instance, although you might use that as a search term as you brainstorm your keywords. But you can see here that I've got access to this full article. And at this point, I can go ahead and either email the article to myself, I can download it, save it as a PDF, I can print it, and in the very corner here, it will also create the citation for you. So if you click the Cite button, from here you can select the citation style. Always use the most current version. Sometimes there can be mistakes in these citations, so go through and make sure everything looks correct. But from here, all I need to do is highlight, right-click, and copy. And now I can open up a Word doc or whatever I'm working in for my project and copy and paste it. Always look on the right-hand side for related items. This is what the database has realized might be relevant to your topic based off of your search terms and your selection of this article. And then also look for anything that says subject term or subject heading. These are the terms that the database has identified as being relevant to your topic. So look here and start to use these terms as your search terms as well, because they might come up with something that you haven't thought of before. Those are the basics of using keywords to search a library database. Remember, when you're looking for keywords or when you're brainstorming keywords, to think of as many different kind of words as you can. Now, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at the library. I would recommend starting with this Library Rough Desk email. We also have a list of other helpful resources and tools at our SFCC Library Workshop Guides. And if you follow this link, you'll get some helpful tips. All right, good luck researching, you guys.